my gorgeous Aries. Guys, we are into August 2025. And Aries, what I want to say is you may be feeling a massive sense of relief because something is cancelled. When I was in meditation, I just heard someone say to somebody else, oh, it's cancelled, as in what a relief, it's good news. We're not doing this anymore, or I've decided not to go through with this. I don't know exactly what this is, but Aries, you're either giving someone some good news, or Aries, you're going to be receiving some good news because somebody's saying it's not happening anymore, right? Yeah, I keep hearing cheering in my head as if, oh, thank God, yay, it's cancelled. So I don't know what this is, Aries, but I think you're happy, right? Okay, I don't know. Let's get into this. I'm not sure, Aries, whether or not there was an issue with a relationship and somebody was saying, okay, we're divorcing, and now you're deciding not to do it. I don't know whether or not you were afraid of somebody taking a course of action and they're telling you, don't worry, I'm not doing this anymore. There's going to be some kind of sense of relief, Aries, for sure. Okay, guys, so the deck that I'm using is the Tarot du Soleil. Everything you need is down below in the description box. The link to my website if you'd like a reading, all the decks I use, and the link is there to join the channel if you'd like to become a member. Okay, I'm actually seeing a man, a guy, walk into a bathroom and put both hands on the side of a sink, look at himself in the mirror and then breathe out. It's as if, thank God for that. But you're doing it quietly, Aries. You could be a female. You could be telling a masculine that you're not going through with something and they're relieved. All right, guys, let's just see what this is. By the way, there's a massive mosquito buzzing around my recording room. If I fling the cards on the table and pause for a minute, it's probably flown under my skirt. Okay? Just warning you, heads up, Aries. I hate mosquitoes. All right, so what do we have for my lovely Aries? Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Aries, this is good news. I mean, whatever this is, it's really good news. All right, Aries, let's have a look, guys. You may be worrying about this, or somebody else has been worrying about this. Ten of Swords. All right, Aries, there was a really painful ending. There was a painful ending. You may have felt betrayed. Seven of Pentacles. Did you feel somebody betrayed you financially? Or did you feel, Aries, that somebody made a massive mistake in the past and it led to an ending? And you've been thinking about this? Did you make a mistake in the past? Let's carry on, guys. Nine of Swords. Wow, sleepless nights. So a while ago, Aries, you were super stressed about this. It's as if, oh my goodness, right? Eight of Swords, you were in your head. What am I going to do about this? Yeah, a lot of overthinking, overanalyzing, stressing that something was over, or stressing that someone was taking a course of action that you were nervous about. In your thoughts, the Four of Swords, yes, this is healing. Aries, you are now in a far more relaxed place in your life. I feel as if either somebody's told you some good news, or you're realizing you've got no need to worry anymore. In the immediate future, guys, Five of Cups. You're still not 100% happy. I think you're relieved rather than bouncing up and down with joy. Somebody may be wanting to apologize to you, Aries. You may not be in that frame of mind yet. This is somebody who may have betrayed you, said they were going to take a course of action. You were stressing about this. They may be apologizing to you, Aries, in the future, saying, yeah, I'm so sorry I put you through that. I've decided not to do this anymore. But you may feel as if this person has messed you around, caused chaos, and then said to you, okay, I was going to cause drama. I've decided not to do this. You're still a bit sore about this. You're still a bit annoyed about this. But there is a sense of relief. In your fears, the Knight of Wands. I don't know why. I'm fearing they're going to do it again. Fearing they're going to do it, but at a later date. I don't quite know what that means. In this person's energy that you're connected to, the High Priestess. The High Priestess is keeping a secret. You may be dealing with a Pisces or a Cancerian. The High Priestess isn't speaking. You may feel this High Priestess knows a lot more than she's letting on. She may know, Aries, that you were betrayed, or she may know, Aries, that you did something that you regret in the past. It might have led to you discussing with somebody else that something was over, a relationship was over, a situation was over. It could have caused you a lot of stress. You're still not totally happy because you feel that the situation's not completely over, but a course of action has been cancelled. Something is reaching the energy of healing. Right? Somebody is saying to you, okay, all right, we don't need to do this, or I'm not doing this, it's okay. And you're relieved. But there's a horrible feeling in the back of your mind, Aries, that this is going to raise its ugly head again in the future. And somebody may be taking a course of action in the future again, bring this up again, okay, I am going to take this course of action, and you're nervous. It's as if you're walking on eggshells around this person or in the situation. In your hopes, 5 of Coins, hoping that someone isn't going to leave you left out in the cold, hoping this truly is over, cancelled. Empress. Aries, this is you. You are a female Saturn Empress energy. Clarification for you guys. 8 of Pentacles. You put time, energy, effort and work into this situation. And with the 6 of Wands, there was a sense of victory and success. Okay, we've managed to sort this out. We've managed to calm everything down, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Why do I see a massive question mark hanging in the air? But you don't know if it's going to re-emerge, resurface in the future again. Let's have a look at the High Priestess. This is someone who you may have had issues with, or this is someone who is simply not communicating a great deal with you. You're still not totally happy here, Aries, because you feel it's only a matter of time when things are going to get difficult again. You also feel, Aries, that this High Priestess knows a lot about your situation, and you feel very uncomfortable about that. Have you been hiding something from the High Priestess? Did she use her intuition, he or she, and figure something out, and you've been trying to cover the tracks a little bit, pretending as if everything's fine when it wasn't? Knight of Cups. This person has been very warm with you. This person has made out as if they care about you. But with the 9 of Cups, This person quietly feels, Aries, that there was still overindulgence in a situation. They're not talking about it, I'm hearing, anymore. They're not talking about it anymore. But they know, Aries, that something happened. And I feel, to be honest, you and whoever this is are both wearing false masks. I have to say that. Aries, this could be something like, and guys, it could be anything, pulling it out of thin air. This could be something like a family situation. Aries, you could be a wife. This could be your child, High Priestess. You may have had an affair with somebody. Your husband found out. There was a massive blow up. And you may feel your daughter intuited that that happened. And you and your husband were discussing divorce, right? This will be an older child of yours. You feel that they intuited that there was going to be a divorce. But you spent time with this person, maybe you and your husband, maybe both of you together, and you've made out as if, oh no, everything's fine, everything's fine. But this person, Aries, knows that you've been hiding a lot. This person knows that something went on, somebody felt betrayed. They're not saying anything. So they're wearing a false mask. They're giving you almost a false sense of security that, yeah, Mom, everything's great. I'm sure everything is fine, right? But deep down, they still think you're keeping a secret. They're not telling you, Aries, that they know, but they know. So the word cancelled, it's cancelled, came through. It may well be, Aries, that you and your husband were considering divorce and you're deciding not to now. It could be, Aries, you talking to a lover and saying, okay, wow, that was a little bit of a close call. I think one of our children found out that we were having an affair. I patched up things with my husband. I'm really sorry. We have to end the affair now because I've decided to reunite with my family, right? It just got a little bit too serious. It could be anything, Aries, but that's sort of the energy that we're dealing with, all right? Underneath the deck, guys, we have the King of Swords. Yeah, wow. Aries, you may have been seeking legal advice, or you may have been strategic relating to a Scorpio. You may have been having a fling with a Scorpio, or you may have been seeking legal advice to end with a Death card, a situation. But with the energy of the Seven of Wands, I think, Aries, somebody said, no, I don't think we should divorce, or I want you to rethink leaving me. This could have been your husband. You could have put up strong boundaries against a Scorpio, Aries, having decided to stay married to your husband because one of your children found out. Or it may well be, Aries, that your husband cheated on you. But you're coming through as an Empress. So you are a wife, you are a mother. And we have the King of Swords, the Death card, and the Seven of Wands. A lot of defensive energy. Not exactly transformation, but a cancellation of something that was going to happen, which, Aries, for whatever reason, you feel relieved about. So guys, the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Coins. Now this could be, oh my gosh, somebody said they were betrayed and I'm looking at past mistakes. And I'm taking the fact that you are the Empress, Aries. So you could have betrayed your husband by having an affair. You may later have found out that maybe one of your children twigged what was happening. She may live at a distance from you, but you may realize, okay, she sort of figured this out somehow, or she could simply be highly intuitive, and you were freaking out about it quietly. You were freaking out. Oh my God. You might have been in your head thinking, gosh, how does she know? There was definitely an issue here in a family dynamic or a marriage. You're relieved, Aries, because something now has been cancelled, But you're a little bit nervous that this high priestess has already figured out what this whole thing was all about, but she's not saying anything. If this is, say, your daughter, high priestess, your daughter's not facing you, Aries, saying, okay, mom, all right, admit it, you had an affair, right? Or she's not talking to her father, okay, dad, admit it, you had a fling. No. But you somehow feel, Aries, that she cottoned on to an affair because of betrayal here. Feeling stressed about the past. All right, let's jump in. What is the Ten of Swords and the Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles? Looking at past mistakes, thinking about betrayal. What's that all about? The truth. Ace of Swords. The truth. The truth. Yeah. Ace of Cups. The truth that one of you or your partner, was planning on detaching to move forward with somebody else. Yes, Aries. Yeah. And you sat in the tower. Interesting. Aries, Scorpio energy. I feel there's a Scorpio somewhere in the mix here. And it was a tower moment. Oh my God, they found out. Or oh my gosh, they intuited this, right? There was a tower moment. Somebody found out. And with the Four of Coins, I think, Aries, you might have pulled back, a bit shocked that somebody found out or figured out what was going on, desperate to hang on to a situation, right? Desperate to hang on to a situation. Yeah, wow. Nine of Cups. We have a Queen of Cups here. You might have found out that your partner was being overindulgent with a Scorpio female. You figured it out. And you two were actually heading for divorce. Or it could be, Aries, that your daughter is coming through with someone highly intuitive. She could be a Cancerian or a Pisces. And she figured out quietly that there was overindulgence here. That you or your partner cheated. So this would be her mum, you, maybe Empress, or her father cheated. So, in the past, Nine of Swords, when you realised, Aries, that someone very close to you had figured out what was going on, you immediately felt stressed. You immediately felt stressed, or you were having to cope with a very difficult emotional situation. It could be you found out your partner was cheating on you. Something happened here. Yes, okay. A lot of stress about a past situation. Six of Cups. And the Devil. Wow. You were very stressed about a toxic situation that reared its head in the past. And with the energy of the Hermit, it could have either had something to do with a Capricorn or a Virgo. You could have been thinking about a Virgo who was sat in toxic energy, or a Capricorn who was messing around. You pull back to do some thinking, Aries. It's as if you were thinking, I don't know what to do about this, so I'm just going to take some time for me and figure out the next steps going forward. This is you in your head. You either realise that somebody found out you've been having an affair, or you figured out that your partner had been cheating on you. With the Eight of Swords, you were in your head, emotionally trying to cope with this Tower. Yeah. Nine of Wands, feeling burdened. Okay, what do we do about this? What do we do about this? Yeah, Lovers. Lovers. Someone found out you were having an affair, or you found out your partner had been cheating on you. Gemini energy. Wow. And with the Eight of Wands, there was a lot of communication. This all came out. There might have been a massive argument in the privacy of your home between you and your partner. A lot of upset, a lot of chaos because of the Seven of Swords. Yeah, somebody cheated. Somebody cheated. I mean, the Lovers, the Nine of Wands and the Seven of Swords is, oh my gosh, right? Now, with the energy of the Four of Swords, I think, Aries, something's been cancelled, as in you two may have decided not to divorce. Or one of you said to their lover, I'm so sorry, this really has to end because it's getting really serious. One of our children found out, or there's been gossip in the community. Whatever happened here, you are in a place of healing, Aries. You're in a place of healing, but you're still not totally happy, is what I'm getting. Relieved, yes, but not happy. Yeah, Three of Swords. So Aries, you're busy trying to heal the heartbreak. After enlightenment with the Sun, you may be connected to a Leo. After enlightenment, that with the Eight of Cups, somebody was about to walk away, right? But I think they've decided not to. Whoever cheated, their partner said, okay, that's it, divorce. Okay, that's it, we're breaking up. But we may have 2 or 3 other people in the mix here. We have a Knight of Wands, could be a younger fire sign. We have a High Priestess who could be a Pisces or a Cancerian. So I think this is a family dynamic. It may even have been, Aries, that one adult child knew what was going on, and the other one you felt didn't have a clue, but the other one was very intuitive, High Priestess. This is somebody, I believe, who lives at a distance. Now, guys, you may read these energies totally differently, and that's absolutely fine, but this is a strong storyline that's coming through. In the immediate future, you're thinking about the Five of Cups. You still feel, Aries, that someone coming through as the High Priestess knows what's going on, knew that one of you cheated in the family. They're just not saying anything. They're acting as if everything's fine. Yes, I care about you, Mom. Yes, I care about you, Dad. Something like that. But they know that there was overindulgence. They know. So Archangel Michael, when do we have the Five of Cups and the High Priestess for Aries? Thank you, Michael. Soon, okay. I'm seeing the 8th of August and the 12th of August, the 22nd and 23rd of August, 24th of August. We're now moving to the 4th of October. Aries, I think you want to try and figure out whether or not this High Priestess actually knows or not. You're very nervous, Aries. Let's have a look at this High Priestess's energy. This High Priestess feels that an Earth sign king, a Virgo, Taurus or Capricorn, did something rather underhanded. Might have juggled you as an Empress, Aries, with somebody else. What else is going on in the mind of this High Priestess? Yeah, Five of Wands. This High Priestess knows there was drama. She knows intuitively there was something that happened that caused a lot of chaos in the situation. Two of Wands. She's still standing at crossroads, emotionally, Aries, because it's almost as if she's waiting for clarification. She's waiting for the truth to be told to her. But you're not saying anything, Aries, and your partner's definitely not saying anything. but she somehow feels that this was kept from her. What else is she considering here? The King of Cups. Aries, she may believe that either you had a fling with a King of Cups, a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio. I'm feeling strong Cancerian energy and strong Scorpio energy. She feels that something went on here that you two are privately trying to manage, but as your daughter or even your son sat in feminine energy, they're sort of waiting for you to come clean. I don't think you've got any intention of doing that, Aries. I don't. What else is she thinking about? She's thinking about the Ten of Wands. That quietly, Aries, you and your partner are dealing with a really stressful situation based around infidelity. She's staying out of it. You're hoping she hasn't figured out what went on, but she has. She's just waiting for you to clarify it. Until you do, she's pretending nothing's happened. She's fine. She doesn't know anything. She's pretending. And you're wearing a false mask, Aries, pretending you and your husband are sat in a very happy marriage. I don't think you are. I think it's been difficult. Let's have a look at the Five of Cups. What's on your mind, Aries, as the Empress? What's on your mind is the Four of Wands. You're thinking about your stability. You're thinking about your home. You're thinking about your house, a property, and you're thinking about your marriage. The Hierophant. Wow. Yep. Justice. You're thinking about a legal contract. Aries, you may have discussed with your partner about what to do pertaining to your marriage. You two may have agreed, whoever cheated, you two may have agreed to stay married so that you wouldn't have to sell the house. It could be because this would be part of your child or children's inheritance. And because you feel one of your children or your child has already twigged what went on, it's as if you can't bear to put them through the fact that not only did you not tell them what was going on, but you two are divorcing, which would rock their financial stability in the future. I think this is a really serious series of conversations that you had with your partner about the future of your marriage, how you both felt, what you wanted to do. And I think a divorce has been cancelled. What's on your mind, Aries? The Wheel of Destiny. You are quietly trying to move forward into a new cycle with your partner. You are desperately trying to patch up your relationship, but you're thinking, I believe, about the past, right? Yeah. Okay. Hangman. Six of Cups. You're either thinking about a situation with a Pisces from the past, or with the energy of the Hangman, what you're thinking about is, I self-sacrificed in my marriage, but there's been a lot of memories we've shared. You could have been together 20, 30 years. And so you two are deciding to stay married. But what you're also recognizing is this high priestess knew what went on in the past. And it's floored you. It's floored you. How the hell did this person know, right? How did my son or daughter know about this? Six of Swords. You've moved to calmer waters. You've moved to calmer waters with your partner, Aries. But you are consciously aware, uncomfortably, that this high priestess knows exactly what went on. No one's talking about it, but you're nervous. What's the energy between you and the high priestess? The Queen of Coins. Okay. You could have a strong Taurian placement, Aries, in your chart, or you are simply the wife. King and Queen of Pentacles, right? What the High Priestess believes has happened is, after the cheating scenario, you and your partner have decided to stay together, not to divorce, but it's because you want to keep hold of a sense of stability. You don't want to waste money in a divorce, and you may have done it to protect the financial future of your child or children. So they're not wanting to delve into this and pick this apart and ask you whether or not this actually happened, this cheating, because they may know that you are sacrificing for their sake, because you are trying to keep the family money consolidated, stable for their future, which of course they would appreciate. So what you're hoping for, Aries, is the Five of Coins, hoping that your partner's not going to leave you out in the cold, or hoping there's not going to be a massive issue to do with money later on if one of you decides to change your mind and go through divorce. You're hoping, Aries, to make the right decision, or hoping, Aries, that you've already made the right decision. And that would be to patch up your marriage. What is the energy of the Empress? I believe this is you. The Page of Cups. Okay. Wow. Aries, if you are the Empress and you cheated, what you're realizing is a water sign child is very intuitive and they've already figured out what went on, but they're not going to talk about it. There may be relief about that. Or Aries, it may well be that in the future, everything comes out, cards on the table. It may be if you two decide you really can't stay married, right? It's done. You may be apologizing to your child and say, I believe that you intuited what was going on. You figured out what was going on, but you didn't say anything. I'm really sorry. You were right. I want to be honest with you. We want to be honest with you that we are getting divorced now. Very interesting. Pages can be children. Oh, wow. And we got another page. 2 pages. Page of Coins. This can be an olive branch. This could be talking about money for children. This could be divorce papers. What's going on here? Okay, the Chariot. Cancerian energy. Aries, I think this is you having a really open, honest conversation with your child or children to say, I'm really sorry. You probably figured out what was going on, but we are separating. Your father and I are separating, right? I'm leaving. So Aries, whether or not you had a fling and you're desperately in love with someone, but for the sake of your child or children, you've decided to stay married, it may be that that doesn't work. It may be, you know, there's too much water under the bridge. You just don't want to be with your partner anymore. And you have to break the painful truth to your children or child. It may well be, Aries, that your partner cheated and what you're realizing is, I can't stay married to this person anymore because I'm miserably unhappy. I know they were unfaithful. This is not going to work. And you're telling your child or children what's been going on. You know? Yeah. Ace of Coins. Uprooting and moving. I'm leaving, right? Or one of us is leaving, living somewhere else. You may be talking to your child or children about a lump sum of money. The Magician. Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini. Aries, in the future, one of you is leaving the other. And I think there's going to be a really serious, honest conversation with your child or children about this. The Four of Cups. You know that there's going to be upset. You know that this conversation isn't going to be easy. But it's as if the whole family knows, as in, you know, your partner obviously knows, Your child knows and nobody's talking about it. And it's ridiculous. As in, you and your partner are keeping this whole scenario from your child, but your child already knows, Aries. They already know. Yeah. The Fool, Aries, this is you. This is you. Yeah. The World. So Aries, if you and your partner had decided to patch things up for the sake of child or children or family, money, inheritance, whatever this is, it's not going to work out, because what you're realizing is your child already knows. And ultimately, if you're both very unhappy staying married, why continue if the truth is already known? I mean, obviously there are financial issues pertaining to the future. There will be less money in the kitty for your child or children if you two divorce, legal fees, that sort of thing. A house will have to be sold and split, possibly the family home. But Aries, it's almost an inevitable conclusion, because this had to come out at some point, out in the open. Maybe you felt guilty because you knew you were hiding the truth from your child, and they already knew, right? 7 of Cups. Aries, this is you looking at options. This is you looking at options to soften the blow, whether or not that's emotional or financial, pertaining to your child or children. But I feel everything's going to calm down. It's almost as if the divine is forcing you to open up and express the truth face to face, so that there's nothing hidden. You may have been afraid of doing that, Aries, you know, telling your child, I've met someone else, I cheated on your father, or your father cheated on me with another woman, and I've been hanging on to this marriage, but I've been miserable, you know, whatever this is. Yeah, the truth has to come out. Temperance. Temperance. Everything's going to calm down. The angels are surrounding you, Aries. And I think you are going to reach a temperate place. You're going to reach a resolution. There may be a need to compromise. I think, Aries, you've been sat there stressed, feeling your child or children figured out what was going on. They did. They know somehow. And Aries, the jig is up. So why keep hiding this? It may be that you're honest and say, we didn't want you to know as our kids or as our child, because it was mortifying, or because we knew you'd be upset that we were splitting up, or because we knew that it would make you feel unstable financially, maybe in the future. But Aries, I think you know it's time. It's time. So guys, I am leaving the reading there. A strange reading, but that's what we have. I hope it's helped. Let me know in the comments if you feel this resonates. Take care of you guys, and I will be back before you know it with your next set of readings. See you soon, Aries. Bye now.